Hi, I'm Nico. This will be a short, gentle flow, and we'll just get started right away. We'll find our child's pose, knees wide, big toes to touch behind you, reach the hands forward. Really lengthen through the fingertips. Let your head fall down to the ground. Let your heart space melt down to the earth. Take a big inhale through your nose to fill up. Big exhale out the mouth, let it go. 2 more times just like that. Inhale through the nose, fill. Exhale through the mouth. Last one, inhale, fill. Really feel your entire heart space and belly lift up off of the ground, inflating your body. Big exhale, release. Inhale, find your tabletop position. Bring your shoulders on top of your wrists. Pull your shoulders a little bit farther forward. Keep the hips lifted. Arch the back. And then nice and slow, exhale. Find a chaturanga with the hips lifted. Drop the heart space down. Chin lifts. Inhale, press into the hands. Refind your tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Press the hips back. Couple more times with the breath. Inhale, bring it up, tabletop. Exhale, hips stay up. Drop the heart space down. Inhale, press into the hands. Exhale, child's pose. Last one, inhale. Exhale, heart space comes down, chaturanga. Inhale, press into the hands, lift. And then exhale to child's pose, bring the hips back. We'll walk the hands over towards the right. Left side body stretch. Keep the hands about shoulder width distance apart from each other. Now we're going to find some cat-cows from here. So as you inhale, pull the shoulders on top of the wrist, round through the spine through cat. Now once you get to the top, drop the belly, lift the chin, find your cow pose. And then re-round through the spine, cat, as you pull the hips back towards the heels, big left side body stretch. 2 more times just like that. Inhale, bring yourself up. Drop the belly, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, cat, round the spine, bring the hips back to the heels. Inhale, bring yourself up. Cow pose. And then neutralize your spine this time. Ground down into your left hand. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, thread the needle with this diagonal reach of the left arm. Drop the right shoulder and the right ear down to the earth. Really reach through those left fingertips, continuing to get a stretch through the left side body. Ground down into your left hand. Inhale, right hand goes high. And then as you exhale, drop your hips back to the heels. Right hand comes back behind the hips. Left hand goes up overhead. If it feels good in the lower back, press the hips up towards the sky. Reach through the left fingertips. And release, drop the hips. Cartwheel the hands down. We'll find downward facing dog. So bring the hands about a handprint in front of where they were in tabletop. Tuck your toes and then press the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out the legs, move into the feet. Take a few breaths here to settle in. And we'll inhale, lift the heels up towards the sky. Keep the heart space how it is, but exhale, bend the knees really deep. Press your heart towards your thighs, finding this crouchy pose. And then flossing through the shoulders, we'll keep the knees low. Inhale, high plank, pull the shoulders forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go all the way up and back. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees really deep. Inhale, high plank, bring it forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Little different this time. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Press the heart space towards the thighs. Keep yourself how you are, except look forward with an inhale. And then as you exhale, gently walk the feet up to the hands, finding a ragdoll pose at the front of the mat. Take an inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release, fold, let it go. Inhale, upward salute, root to rise. Reach tall with the hands. Lift the fingertips up. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand. Pull up and out of that left hip. Stretch over towards the right. Take an inhale to back out just a little bit. Find some length. And then exhale, drop in a little bit deeper. And then continuing the circular arc with the upper body, we're going to pull this left hand all the way over and down until eventually you refine your ragdoll pose. When you do, grab your left knee with your hands. Start to pull your shoulders on top of your hips, bringing your left knee with you, finding half staff. But pull this left knee into the heart space. Make sure your shoulders are stacked on top of your on top of your hips, and then start to move this left foot, flexing and pointing the foot, rolling through the ankle. See if you can keep the left knee where it is. Flex the left toes, hands lift up overhead. Grounded airplane, nice and slow. Start to kick that left foot back. Hands can come to heart or to the ground. Stay grounded in the right foot, nice and slow. Start to drop the left toes, bend into the right knee, finding a power lunge. So keep the heart space forward a little bit, long straight line from the left heel out the crown of the head. And then nice and slow, we're going to start to pull the shoulders on top of the hips, bend into the left knee as the hands go up high crescent. One time we'll exhale, cactus the arms, open up through the heart, devotional lunge. Inhale, reach tall with the hands. Grab your left wrist with your right hand, and then as you exhale, drop your knees down. Drop your left knee all the way to the mat, flip to the top of the left foot, pull up and out of your left hip, and stretch over to the right. Next inhale, come up through center. As you exhale, plant your hands to frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes underneath your left foot, lift your left knee, bring your right foot back to meet the left, find your high plank. Inhale to charge the heels forward, and then exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands wide, so tent the fingers, elbows lift up towards the sky. As you inhale, cobra pose, lift up through the heart space. And then as you exhale, drop the right shoulder as you look over the left. Doing that a few times with the breath. We'll inhale, come up through heart, through center. This time, exhale, drop the left shoulder, look over the right. One more time each side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop the right shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, lower the heart space down. Plant the hands outside the heart. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Inhale through your tabletop, and then exhale to your child's pose, hips to heels. This time we'll walk the hands over to the left, keeping the hands at shoulder width distance apart. Reach towards the top left side of your mat. And then tuck the chin towards the chest, round through the spine, through cat pose. We'll pull ourselves up. And then find this kind of diagonal leaning cow pose. Drop the belly, lift the chin as you inhale. Exhale, round through the spine, pull the hips back to the heels. Couple more times as you inhale, round through the spine. Drop the belly, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, pull the hips back as you round through the spine. Last inhale, bring yourself up. Inhale to your cow pose, and then exhale to your neutral spine. Ground down into the right hand, left hand lifts up overhead. Take a big inhale, and then exhale, thread the needle, swoop the left hand underneath the heart over towards the right. And as you do, keep reaching that right hand forward, stretching through the right side body. Plant your right hand. As you inhale, left hand reaches up overhead. And then we'll exhale, drop the hips towards the heels, bring your left hand back behind, right hand goes up overhead. If it feels okay in the back, press the hips up towards the sky, reach the right fingertips away from the right knee. Gently drop the hips back to the heels. We'll cartwheel the hands down a little farther forward than underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. As you inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Exhale, bend the knees really deep, melt the heart towards the thighs. Hold here, inhale, look forward in between the hands. As you exhale, step, walk, hop, or float, find your forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release, let it go. Inhale, upward salute, root your eyes, reach tall with the hands. This time, grab your right wrist with your left hand, pull up and out of your right hip and stretch over to the left. Just one time, we'll inhale, back out, lengthen upwards a little bit more. And then as you exhale, go a little bit deeper. But this time, we'll take it all the way down, moving through all the parts of that right side body until you find your ragdoll pose. When you do, grab your right knee with both of your hands, pull your right knee up as you find half staff. Balance is hard sometimes. And then square your hips off, make sure they're aligned. Pull your shoulders on top of your hips, lengthen through the spine using the grip of that right knee. Start to move through the right foot. Some ankle circles, flex and point. See if you can keep the right knee where it is, hands lift up overhead. Moving through a grounded airplane with hands down or hands at heart, kick that right foot back. Find the balance in the left leg. Keep that long alignment from your right heel out the crown of your head, but bend into the left knee, drop the right toes, power lunge. See if you can square the hips off towards the front, and then nice and slow start to pull the shoulders on top of the hips, bend into the right knee as your hands go up. One time we'll exhale, devotional lunge, bend deep into the knees, open up through the heart. Inhale, bring the hands up overhead, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and then exhale, drop your right knee all the way down. Flip to the top of your right foot, pull up and out of your right hip, and then stretch over to the left. Release, bring the hands up through center, and then exhale, plant the hands. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Bring your left foot back to meet the right. As you inhale, charge the heels forward. Exhale, come halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale through upward facing dog, pull the heart space through. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. And then we'll gently drop the knees all the way down to the earth. But keep the hands a little bit farther forward, and we're going to return to those tabletop chaturangas here. But if you want to, it's a fun transition into upward facing dog. We'll start with 3 chaturanga push-ups. So pull the shoulders forward. Again, keep the hips lifted as you exhale. Bring the heart space down. Inhale, press into the hands, tabletop. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Last one, exhale, come down. And then if it feels good, you can start to press the hips down towards the earth. As they press down, the heart space will lift up naturally. Upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing, hips go up and back. Inhale, lift the heels up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend the knees really deep. Inhale, look forward in between the hands, and then exhale. See if you can jump to your malasana. So feet come wide. As the hips go low, hands come to heart. Really press knees into elbows, elbows into knees, lift up through the heart space. 5 deep breaths right here. Nice and slow, we'll sit the hips down to the ground. Bring the feet forward, and then lower all the way down to our back. Setting up for bridge pose, we'll bring the feet underneath the knees, reach the hands towards the heels, press into the feet to lift the hips up towards the sky. Then if you want more, you can scoot the shoulders closer to the heels. Maybe you grab the ankles with the hands. Keep squeezing inner thighs in towards one another. Press the hips up towards the sky. Deep breaths here. Slowly lower the hips back down to the earth. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a good squeeze, a hug. And then we'll release Shavasana pose. Let the arms go wide, feet go wide. Scoot the shoulders underneath the heart space. Taking one last deep breath before releasing any control. We'll take a big inhale through the nose to fill. Lift, open, expand. Open the mouth, let it all go. If you have the gift of time today, I always encourage staying here a little bit longer if you can. If you're ready to start moving again, start with the breath. Letting it get a little bit deeper and bigger with each inhale. Eventually finding movement in the hands and the toes. Making your way into a full body stretch with the hands reaching up overhead, feet go long. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. And then roll onto whichever side feels best to press yourself up into a seat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. As always, please feel free to comment with any questions or requests for the next flow, and I hope to see you back on here soon. Namaste.